यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। My best wishes and Paripurna Ashirvadam. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, wealth, health and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and your entire family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 41 of 4th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam ज्ञान संच्छिन्न संशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनंजय। हे धनंजय, आत्मवन्तं कर्माणि न निबध्नन्ति. These karmas won't bind Atmavanta, the knower of the truth. Ajnani is not limited by, not affected by, not bound by the karmas or karma phalas. How do we understand these things? Now, from the beginning, Krishna is describing two kinds of lifestyle. The first is the life of Ajnani, a life of Jnani. The life of Ajnani, which makes us to feel the world is nothing but the place of the problems. Every ignorant person, he has the perception towards the world. The world can affect me. World can cause for my birth, my death, and my all the problems which I experience. Therefore, what? Every day I have to face the problem. I have to get ready myself to face the problem. And also he finds his body itself a problematic one. After a particular age of time, body causes for all kinds of bad experiences. That's what the lifestyle of an Ajnani. But the lifestyle of a Jnani, it completely differs from the lifestyle of Ajnani. He sees the world is nothing but Ishvara. You need to have a guts to have the perception. Because what you can see is nothing but karma pala. All limitations are seen. All limitations means what? Every object, it has got its own tendency to make the affection or effect on other object. If you see your children, you are affected, you are affectionated. If they see you, the same thing will happen. They also feel the love and affection towards you. But if you see other people, you may not have this much of affection and love towards them. That's what the difference is. And every object, the objects which you own, your home, your car, your relative, your object, even your mobile, your clothes, you have affection. But if you see others' mobile and car and home and everything, you may not have that much connectivity. That's what the Vyavahara is. For the Vyavahara, it is good. But when you see as the perfection, so when you would like to understand world as its real nature, you should know that the world is existing with difference. That difference exists here. Ajnana is perception which is limited, and the world also seems to be limited, but Jnani doesn't say that. For a Jnani, the world is nothing but Ishvara. Isha Vasyam Idagga Sarvam. In order to gain that state, It's not a state. It's to gain that maturity, the perception within you. You need to grow yourself by giving up the ajnana. That's what he says. Yoga sanyasta karmanam, one who has given up all the karma phala with the help of yoga, that yoga which was taught in the 4th and 3rd chapter. Yogena sanyasta karmanam, the person one who has given, or the person one who has given up karma phala with the help of yoga, and whose doubt completely severed. By studying, when you analyze yourself, you will be cleared all the doubts. The person, one whose doubt is being severed, that person who has become Atmavantam, who has got a hold on his own body, mind, and sense complex, for him there is no bondage from the karma phala. So he can be in the water, he can be in the mud, he can be in the water like a fish, water won't affect. He can be in the mud like a lotus, the lotus is not affected. In the same way, this person may live as the grihastha, may live as the sannyasi, doesn't matter, the world won't affect. That's what the fact is. This is the benefit of our Shastra. Nowhere in the world this benefit is shown or it is prized. So only Sanatana Dharma. In all scriptures you may see in Puranas, the Shuka Maharishi and Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, so many Maharishis, Rishis, they prize this. These are all the benefit by the Shastra. Now, that's the life motto of our Shastra, to gain this benefit. But this benefit is not fixed in a Guinness record. It is not prized as though it is the valuable target of the world. The worldly purpose, the worldly people, they prize what they know. Now, Westerners are not aware about this prayojana. But nowadays, by God's grace, all Westerners, they are studying our Shastra very seriously, and also they gain the understanding. You know, Sanatana Dharma, it doesn't belong to any individual person. It is Sanatana Dharma. It is common. It belongs to all the creatures in the world. So when they study, they will also become like what? Isha Vasyamidag Sarvam. That is what the clarity they will get. So everybody is nothing but Ishvara. Everything is nothing but Ishvara. So that's what the person, one who has got growth inside, by having the growth means what? First, he has to surrender to the Lord. The Sharanagati is the first step. So when you get that mentality to surrender yourself, that is the big development in your system, in your lifespan of time, I tell you. So because your ego won't allow to surrender to anybody. If you are ready to surrender like Arjuna, even for Arjuna it took 42-43 years to surrender to Krishna. So we don't know how long it will take for us, but that needs to have a lots of punya phala. When you surrender, that Sharanagati will bring the perception of prasada buddhi. So once you surrender, you become free from your worries. So when you become free from your worries, that mind, it will set a proper path. It will become aligned with a proper path. Then you will see everything, including your body, mind and sense complex, is nothing but prasada of Ishvara Anugraha, Narayana Anugraha, Mahavishnu's Anugraha. That is the second development. The first one is Sharanagati. Sharanagati will bring the prasada buddhi. When you have the prasada buddhi, it means when your buddhi owns the prasada buddhi, that is marvelous, I tell you. Then you are gifted. So gifted soul, that prasada buddhi will work a lot with every karma which you make. When you feel your own body is prasada, even your ahankara is prasada. Whatever comes in this world as an experience to your life is nothing but prasada. So you started converting every karma phala into loka sangraha. That's what he says. Yogena karma phalam sanyastha. Yogena sanyasta karmanam. By that yoga means by having the different perception, you convert. That prasada buddhi will help you to give up the karma phala. Karma phala tyaga will be possible. This is what householders can do. The fourth chapter, especially, it talks about householder, not sannyasis. That sannyasa, which is talked about here, it's inner sannyasa. Then outer sannyasa means bahya sannyasa will be discussed in the next forthcoming chapter. But here, that inner sannyasa, even this next chapter will also give the priority to the inner sannyasa, because sannyasa means it is the inner core of understanding towards my body, mind and sense complex. Therefore, these people, who are the normal minded people, they may not understanding the prayojana, what the benefit here it is given. Therefore, this atmavantam karmani na nibadhanti, you have to underline the word. This brahmajnani is, he is householder, he is married, he has the children, he has undergoing all the duties, he does all the things what to be done, what needs to be done, what has to be done. He follows every norms of the society, he responds to the society, he respects to the society, but he is not limited, he is not affected, he is not given bondage by the karma phala. It means what? He is nothing but called Jivan Mukta. That person is called Jivan Muktaha. Now the next words, Tasmad Ajnana Sambhotam Hrastham Jnanasin Atmanaha Chitvainam Samshayam Yogam Atirtha Bharata. The last words of fourth chapter, Bhagavan concludes whatever he is saying from the first words. Tasmad, therefore, Ajnana Sambhotam Hrastham Jnanasina Atmanaha. Okay, so he says, the doubts about everything, doubt about yourself, the doubt about the life, the doubt about the birth and death. So all we are, doubtful atmas. We have so many questions from the birth to death. So many people, they die with the doubt itself. So many doubts. Why are we born? It's a doubt. So nobody answers it. Vedanta answers it to experience your karma phala, to vanish your karma phala. You are given the body, you are not taken the birth, you are given the body. The proper answer. When you study scriptures, scriptures will give knowledge. Knowledge is like the sword. That sword which is in the knowledge form, that will slay. It will slash all the doubt. So doubts are because of ajnana. So doubt arises because of what? Ajnana. Ajnana means what? Ignorance. The self-ignorance becomes the main ignorance for all ignorance. This knowledge will help you to slay that ajnana, means the root of ajnana. So we are ignorant to so many things, okay? But the main ignorance is apne bare mein. So my self is not realized, recognized properly. It means what? I may live thousands of years, but that life will become meaningless. That's what Krishna is bringing here. My dear, if you want to live a meaningful life, but what we give that meaningful life means, we give that we should get married, we should bring the children up, and we should get them married, and we have to nourish them, and we have to also help my granddaughter, grandson. but it's good. That's normal life, and the life which is committed to the duties of the family and society, it's the life of beauty. But the meaningful, it exists only the self-realization. You realize yourself, then you work for your family, you work for your society, you work for the nation. So all those work, all those duties will be converted as the very meaningful. Once you have the knowledge about yourself, once we have the knowledge about ourselves, it means what? Who am I? It has to be answered first. A person must be answered, who is he? When he gets the knowledge, who am I, then he can lead the life, because every traveler should know who he is, where he is going, and the means which is going to be used. If you are a traveler, if you want to go to Delhi, or if you want to go to somewhere pilgrim in the foreign countries or anywhere, without ID, you won't be permitted in order to sit in the flight, sit in the train, because you need to have your ID. You should let them know who are you, isn't it? But before that, you should have the clarity. The life is like a journey. It's a big, huge travel. That travel needs an ID. That ID should be real ID, because it's not to show outside, it is to understand, realize for your sake. Because when you show the ID, they will allow, they will permit you to sit in the flight. The flight will take the place where you want to go. There you can go and you can reach the destination. That's what the normal travel is. In the same way, the life which is equal to the travel, it needs a self-identification. That self-identification must be achieved by the Shastra with the help of Guru, grace of Ishvara. So when you have the grace of Ishvara, so he may be Narayana, Mahavishnu, Vasudeva, Krishna, or he may be Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Parvati, and he may be Lord Ganesha, Kartikeya. So whoever the God is, if you have the grace of God, you will get the grace of Guru. If you have the grace of Guru, you will have the grace of Shastra. So this Ishvaranugraha, Guruраnugraha, Shastranugraha will bring Atmanugraha. Atmanugraha means the self-realization. Okay, the grace of the self. Because these all anugrahas, Guru, Shastra, Ishvara, anugrahas will help you to realize about yourself. When you realize yourself, you could see the anugraha, its ashirvada. You will be free from all your own karma phala. That's what he says. All the doubts will be slashed. And that the effort must be made by yourself. Therefore, he says, therefore, ajnana sambhutam samshayam hristham samshayam. The doubts which is existing in you, which is caused by ajnana, you have to slash it with the help of knowledge of the Shastra, which is given as the boon of Guruраnugraha, Ishvaranugraha, Shastranugraha. Then you become a completely clear person, one who is endowed with clarity. Then you can lead your life, then you can lead your journey. The journey will be a successful journey. With this meaning, he concludes the 4th chapter. The last 4 lines, let us read it. इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. The 4th chapter, which is known as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which is in the dialogue form between Arjuna and Krishna, and the body of knowledge is nothing but called Yoga Shastra, Brahma Vidya. It is equal to Upanishad and also known as Bhagavata Geetam, Bhagavad Gita. is concluded. Okay, so fourth chapter is being completed now. We are going to have Simhavalokanam. So as we saw, Bhagavad Gita have been divided into 3 shatkas. 3 shatka means every shatka which contain 6 chapters. The first 6 chapter is called Prathama Shatka. The second 6 chapters are called Dvitiya Shatka. And third 6 chapter will be called Tritiya Shatkam. The first Shatkam which began with Arjuna's all worries. The second chapter, so which spoke about Sankhya Yoga, the knowledge about 2 things, Atma Jnanam and Anatma Jnanam, Vishaya Jnanam. Then third chapter, it started with Karma Yoga. Then fourth chapter, in the beginning itself, we can divide into 3 categories. I mean, there are 3 subject matters are dealt with this chapter. The first subject matter is dealing with Avatara, the incarnation, the secret of birth of Ishvara. When Lord Krishna began, he started saying that I taught this knowledge to Vivaswan, to sun god long back. Then immediately Arjuna had the doubt. So this subject matter which deals about incarnation, avataraha. You know, avataraha means what? That which is descended. To coming down. Coming down means what? Coming from up to down. So how do we understand this concept? Because the normal birth is falling down. Okay? And this, the birth of Ishvara, it seems to be normal. Then how can we differentiate it? So the difference must be realized first. Therefore, from the first words to 15th words, so the fourth chapter talks about the difference between normal birth and the birth of Ishvara. He says, Bahuni me vetitani janmani savacharjuna Tanyaham Veda Sarvani Natvam Veda Parantapa. When Arjuna asked, so you said that you taught Lord Sun, but I know your birth. What are you talking about? So because, I know your birth date, I know your all the details, your parents and all. Before that, you were not there. Then Lord Krishna started, I know all the birth which we had, but you are not aware. It means what? Ishvara is almighty, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So that the concept is a little bit unique. So we can also understand, for example, if a person in a coma for 2 years, okay, so he has become in a state of coma, and after getting up, after 2 years or after 5 years, let it be like a 5 years. So suddenly he looks all the people, and the small baby has become 5 years older than before. He says, how you come? I didn't know that, because he was unconsciousness. But in the normal life also, like a coma is the stage where we keep ourselves, we become unconscious ourselves. A coma person, he may be there, his body may work, but he is not aware about it, but still he is sticking with his consciousness. So I am bringing this example very carefully, you have to understand. So this coma is the stage where everything is undergone, but nothing is understood. So his body is functioning for 5 years. After 5 years, so he becomes aware about the things. When he becomes aware about the world, he could see all the difference, and he becomes amazed. So how it is possible? Everybody has become older than before. But when he sees himself in the mirror, he could also see, yes, so I have become also older. In the same way, see, now in the normal life, if when you have the child, if you have a daughter or son, so you are bringing them up with sincerity, day by day, minute by minute, year by year. So once you are letting them married, the next day of the marriage, so marriage was completed, everything is completed, and bride and bridegroom, they are leaving from your home. Your daughter is looking at you with tears sitting in her eyes. Then you look at that. Immediately your mind will go to the past. So past means when she was born, you lifted her in your hand when you looked at her. Now your mind combines, my God, so I feel just you were born now. You are grown so much. So that's what, mind, it skips. It means what? Mind is limited. That limited mind cannot see the fact of the time and fact of the space. So that's what the secret. You see, you are undergoing lots of birth and death. You are not aware. You are not aware means what? You are occupied with the ignorance. I am not. So that is the big difference. I know what is going on in me and out, but you are not aware. That's what the big difference. That different from normal birth and the birth of Ishvara can be said in the three ways. The cause of the birth. Okay, the cause of the birth, then Swarupa of the birth, and the purpose of the birth. These three things have been described in the beginning itself. The cause of our birth is our karma phala. In order to enjoy our karma phala, we are born. It means what? We are falling into birth. That's what the word, falling into the birth. But Bhagavan's birth is not to exhaust the karma phala. He is born in order to establish dharma. Therefore, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. That's very important shloka. So the cause of birth, it entirely different. So we are born in order to experience, exhaust our karma phala. So Bhagavan's birth, may it seems to be blood and flesh, it is not because of his karma phala, because he doesn't have the karma phala. He has the hold on Maya. Okay, the cause, and it seems to be very normal. Swamiji, it's okay. What is the big difference? You say that it's not caused by his karma phala. How would you know? Wait, Bhagavad Gita continues more. It's not stopped here. It will discuss elaborately about Ishvara in 7th chapter and 9th chapter. Okay, so there you will just will be sure about Bhagavan's secret. But here the secret was given, the between you and Ishvara, the difference in the birth is, your birth is because of karma phala, his birth is not because of karma phala. Swasankalpa tadaikshata bahusyam prajayeti. Swasankalpa, he made the sankalpa, yes, I have to be born in order to protect good people, in order to protect the dharma, in order to slay the adharma. Okay, then the next step is to realize the swarupa. The swarupa of your life, the swarupa of their life. You will continue as the bandhatma, means we will continue as a bandhatma, but Ishvara continues as the muktatma. He is always smiling. When he even destroys the demons, he is smiling faced. Therefore, demon becomes more irritated, more annoyed, but he keeps himself as the pleasant person. We will continue this discussion tomorrow in the next episode. Harihi Om. My blessings and Ishvara's blessings to all of you to have more potential capacity in your life, more successful things will be taking place in your life. Harihi Om. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ।